Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be talking about a brand new stock to the channel. The company name is Universal PropTech. They're involved in the healthy building technology space here in Canada, and they've got a couple of really cool components to their business model. Now before we get into today's video, you guys, take a second to hit the like button. It's a huge help to both myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below if you've heard about Universal PropTech, what you think of their business model, and if you currently hold any shares. Now without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be covering a new company to the channel. Super excited to talk about this one. Company name is Universal PropTech Incorporated. Ticker symbol on this guy is UPI on the Toronto Venture Exchange. And they actually also trade on the OTC market in the US under the ticker symbol UPIPF. Now, a couple of reasons I'm excited to talk about this one, you guys. This is a super small cap company. You can see the market cap here, just north of $10 million Canadian. So a great penny stock to have on your radar. This company, similar to Control Technologies, is in the building technology space or industry, as the name implies. So PropTech, property technology. And they've got a couple of components within their business model that makes me really excited as an investor in this company. So for full disclosure, you guys, I just initiated a position in UPI. I was able to pick up some shares at 24 cents Canadian. And this is a position that I am going to be looking to grow based on the due diligence that I've done on this company. So we're going to kick it off here with the chart. We're going to talk about some recent news from the company. Then we're going to jump into UPI's investor presentation and talk about some of these business differentiators or ways that Universal PropTech is really setting themselves up for the future. And then to finish things off, we've actually got a comparison chart that looks at some of the other operators in this industry compared to UPI. Now, if we pull up a 6-month chart on this company, you guys, you can see they're trading relatively flat. They closed out last week or October 15th session down half a cent a share, so 2% to land the day at 23 cents Canadian. And if you look back all the way to the end of May, they're virtually trading at the exact same price as they were at that point in time. Now what's interesting here, if we zoom out to a 1-year chart, you can see this massive spike back in the middle of February. So February 15th, there was some big news that came out at that point in time, which we're going to talk about later in this presentation. And this is really why I'm so excited about this company, you guys, because they've already seen some major share price moves. And I think it's realistic for this company to get back up to those levels based on some of the news that we're going to talk about later in today's video. And again, what's super exciting here, very small market cap. So on a fully diluted basis, UPI has about 59 to 60 million shares. So if you multiply that out by last week's close at 23 cents, you're looking at about $13.8 million Canadian. So a little bit higher than what's shown here on Yahoo Finance. So I always like to take a look in the investor presentation just in case there is a little bit of a discrepancy. So to kick things off here, I wanted to address some big news that was just released by this company last week. So Thursday, October 14th, and they actually provided an operational update here, you guys, stating that UPI or Universal PropTech, through its wholly owned operating company, VCI Controls, which we're going to talk about in a couple of slides here, is pleased to announce that they've actually booked or awarded contracts worth approximately $1 million in their service contracts and project work in the building automation system space, or BAS. And that's just for the month of September. So if you think about the market cap on these guys, which we just mentioned, about 10% of the market cap was actually booked in revenue in last month alone. Now, Chris Hazelton, who's the CEO of Universal PropTech, we're going to take a look at his profile in a second here, goes on to mention, we're very pleased that our BAS group has extended and renewed many of its service mandates with customers such as the Canadian government. So we're actually going to look at the list of customers that UPI has, you guys. They're very well-known blue chip type of companies here in Canada. Chris then goes on to say service contracts lead to additional repair revenue, and we continue to aggressively pursue project work from these sites and growing our installed base. I think it's a great start to fiscal 2022. So that's phenomenal to see and read for me as an investor in this company, you guys. They're off to a great start. They're seeing a lot of revenue come in just the month of September alone. Plus, they're going to see recurring revenue due to some of that service contract, repair work, and opportunities that will present themselves down the road based on these contracts. Now, as mentioned, this is a new stock or company to the channel. So before we get into the investor presentation, I did want to give a quick high-level summary about who UPI is and what they're really about. So Universal PropTech, UPI, provides a suite of property technology solutions, hence the name PropTech, and services that deliver healthier buildings. UPI has been operating in the healthy building market for decades and has a long-standing and stable revenue-generating base in the healthy building space. So that's important to keep in mind here, you guys. Although this is a smaller company, they're by no means a new company or new player in this space. So they've got that history, that track record, those relationships already in place, and they're really looking to accelerate their business in the coming years. Now, the mission statement at UPI, they're really focused on providing developers, owners, and facility managers here in Canada with sustainable, healthy building solutions and services by strategically investing and partnering with innovative prop tech based companies. So we're going to talk about some of these strategic investments later on in the presentation, along with some of these existing strategic partnerships. Now, the second paragraph here, we are an entry point into the growing prop tech market. Our growing portfolio of technology partners enables us to provide customers with state-of-the-art technology which best suit their needs of today and tomorrow. So obviously very relevant, you guys, given the situation the world finds itself in the midst of this pandemic. People are very conscious now about air quality, about healthy building spaces, airborne pathogens and viruses and all the rest. So this company is really at the epicenter of a lot of the demand for this type of market. So now that we have a general understanding of what UPI's focus or goal is, I wanted to zoom in here and look at the company in a little bit more detail. So VCI Controls is a subsidiary of UPI or Universal PropTech, and this is really where a lot of their business is centered or focused on. And you can see the middle point here, healthy building services. VCI Controls continues to install and service HVAC and building automation and mechanical systems for healthy buildings. So we're going to spend some time on VCI Controls later in the presentation here, but that is the core of this business right now. In addition to that, UPI is planning to expand its footprint and actually roll out a range of additional products and services in the coming quarters and years here. They've also got a range of opportunities on the technology front, and they're actually looking to globally license some of their commercial prop tech equipment and software. And ultimately, these distribution agreements are going to leverage the value that they've created through research and development to drive incremental revenue for the business. Now, the middle point here, COVID-19, so they've actually got a partnership with a company called Iceberg. We're going to talk about that later in the presentation. It's actually a minority investment and rights to what's called Spotlight 19, which we're going to talk about again in more detail here, you guys. Then at the bottom, they've got two pillars based around energy resources. So really the integration and optimization of renewable energy and conventional energy storage and controls to maximize building efficiency and really cut down on operational costs for these managers, developers, and owners. And then the bottom point here is really in relation to financing. So self-financed, credit-worthy, or de-risked solutions for their customers. So there's a whole number of different facets to this company, which I'm super excited about, again, because it spreads out the risk. They've got multiple different revenue streams and some very exciting catalysts on the near-term horizon here. So I mentioned a quote from Chris Hazelton in that initial press release. He's the president, CEO, and director of UPI. You can see here over 20 years experience, both in an operational and advisory capacity. Previous to taking over the CEO role, he was actually the CFO or Chief Financial Officer at UPI. So he's got a very in-depth understanding of the company, of their finances and their history. And then backing up Chris, we have Frank Carnival, who's the CGO, so Chief Growth Officer. He really leads their investment, acquisition, and organic growth for UPI. He's actually served as an executive board member for the Energy Council of Canada. And in addition to that, he's got experience originating over $2.5 billion in energy transactions in regulated and unregulated energy service companies. So a ton of experience in the energy world, great connections with players in the Canadian energy industry, and a really nice complement to Chris's resume or experience. So now that we've introduced you guys to the UPI business model, the leadership team, and what they're really focused on, I wanted to talk about the market opportunity here, you guys, because this is another huge reason why I'm so excited about this company. Now, we talked about the COVID-19 situation. Obviously, that's accelerated the demand for some of these healthy building solutions. In addition to that, there's a number of other major tailwinds or catalysts in this space that are really setting the stage to drive value for companies like UPI that are involved in this space. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, sustainable technology, these are all grouped under the banner real estate technologies or property technology, PropTech. And really on a holistic level, you guys, all of these technologies are either eliminating or reducing existing costs. They're improving the design and operation of new buildings coming online. And for existing buildings, they're really cutting down on the number of expenses and time related to building maintenance and real estate asset operations. So overall, this PropTech sector has actually grown at a compound annual growth rate of 45% since 2014 up until today, so 2021. So huge growth in this space, again, which I believe is going to be accelerated through the back half of this year and moving into 2022. Now, the market opportunity, $217 trillion here, you guys. Now, keep in mind, this is a global real estate market. However, the total addressable market here, you guys, is absolutely massive when you compare real estate to some of these other asset classes like equities or precious metals or whatever the case is. So huge opportunity, huge potential, and I think UPI is in a really good spot to take advantage of some of these tailwinds. And that's exactly what this slide here talks about in the sense of creating safe spaces for people to live and work in. So real estate owners and property managers, workplaces, retailers, they're all looking for solutions that are going to improve the well-being of their employees, the customers, and the visitors to their businesses, spaces, stadiums, whatever the case is. As employers look to improve the spaces around them, that includes redesigning HVAC systems, clean air, purification, and really ensuring that safety is top of mind. UPI is prepared to meet the growing demands to customers across North America by delivering healthy building solutions that improve building value and user satisfaction. And that brings us to VCI Controls. So you can see here, Universal PropTech really focused on the marketing, retail, dealers, sales, and support side of the business. Virtually everything else, you guys, rolls up under VCI Controls. So it represents their main operating company. And you can see here, by leveraging its existing VCI platform, Universal PropTech or UPI can effectively screen the most exciting and innovative companies in the PropTech space, build accretive partnerships, giving them access to buildings where they can implement their technology. So VCI in a nutshell really provides real estate owners, building managers, turnkey solutions to HVAC, building control design, equipment, installation, and the ongoing operations and maintenance of these technologies for commercial, institutional, and multi-residential customers here in Canada from coast to coast. And again, speaking to this company's history here, you guys, they've actually been in relationships with the federal government for over 40 years. So very, again, well-known customers, which we're going to look at in a second here. And you can see a breakdown of the VCI Control offerings. So they've got COVID-19 air quality, which is obviously very top of mind right now. They've got their mechanical division, which really focuses on the maintenance, service, installations. Their controls division, the energy resources division, which again is focused on renewable energy generation, storage, and overall integration. And then building performance division, so energy management, building audits, building system automation through artificial intelligence, and overall project management. And this slide here really talks about some of the practical applications or clients that UPI has. So you can see Canadian government here front and center, Canada Post, the Ottawa Catholic School Board, Morguard, and Manulife, just to name a few. So these are some of Canada's biggest, most well-known, longest-running companies, in addition to the actual Canadian government itself. So obviously a very well-known company, long track record, and trusted player in this space. So now we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about some of these actual existing strategic partnerships and the big strategic investment here, you guys, that I'm super excited about with Spotlight 19 and a company called Iceberg. So first up, strategic partnerships. They've got a variety of different partnerships already in place. Arguably, Air Sniper is probably the most popular or well-known here, but they've also got these strategic partnerships with other companies, including Lumen Ultra, which is really focused on microbial monitoring. So UPI is using or leveraging Luminaltra's gene count technology, which is really a surface testing solution that allows them to audit the effectiveness of disinfection protocols and air quality equipment, so they can actually go in and see how well cleaning processes are working in these buildings. Next up, we have Air Sniper. Air Sniper has actually developed a technology that uses ultraviolet light to kill germs in industrial scale buildings. So obviously this is a very relevant and in-demand service that UPI can leverage. They've got AirFresh UV, which is again focused on improving indoor air quality and eliminating such things as contaminants, viruses, bacteria, various organic compounds, and odors. And then Atmos Air Solutions, again, focused on air quality technology, you guys, to eliminate viruses, bacteria, and germs. And you can see at the bottom here, they also talk about reducing odors, mold, mildew, and allergens, which can cause a lot of problems and frustration for building owners or operators. So a whole host of various partnerships here, you guys, and solutions to really improve air quality, cleanliness, and building safety. So now we're going to talk about the big one here, you guys. This is a strategic investment that UPI actually made in a company called Iceberg. UPI is a minority investor and exclusive sales agent of Iceberg Corp, which are really focused on innovating the Spotlight 19 technology. Now, Spotlight 19 is still in clinical trials, so this is not a technology that's available for widespread use at this point in time. However, it is super exciting. We're going to look at a press release in a second here that really did have a big impact on UPI's share price back in February. And I think the investment community is really excited to see how this technology and the approval process plays out for UPI moving forward. So you can see here Spotlight 19 is currently undergoing investigational clinical trial at a Canadian border location, so an undefined location. And obviously if things go well here, you guys, the application or use case for this type of technology is virtually limitless here. So whether it's airports, government buildings, schools, campuses, border crossings, even arenas, entertainment complexes, virtually anywhere that the public gathers or congregates, you could harness this type of technology. And this is actually the original press release here, which came out in the middle of February. So that's exactly when we saw the UPI share price spike, you guys. And it really has to do with this article here. So UPI is pleased to announce it's completed an investment in Iceberg Corp for minority interest and secured agency rights to their Spotlight 19 technology. And this technology really is focused on creating a better new normal for building operations. You can see the global COVID-19 diagnostics market is estimated to be worth about $84.4 billion as of 2020, with a compound annual growth rate of 3.1% through 2027. So again, as the world starts to understand and manage what a pandemic like this really means for us moving forward, this type of technology, which we're going to look at in more detail next up, does really have a huge market opportunity and could be a major game changer for universal PropTech. So if we jump over to the Iceberg website, Iceberg is a healthcare data analytics company with a proprietary technology platform capable of assessing and processing health data from an individual within seconds. And the key here, you guys, is it's non-invasive. And because of that, they're really able to bring the cost per client or cost per test down compared to other testing processes. Now, the first application of this proprietary technology is actually in relation to detecting COVID-19, and that's their Spotlight 19 solution. So you can see here, this is what the system looks like. It actually uses light to identify or detect the presence of viruses. So a person would come up to this device, they put their hand over the system, takes about 20 seconds, and it can immediately tell if the person is a carrier of specific viruses like COVID-19. And that's exactly what they expand on here. Iceberg Spotlight 19 technology is designed to leverage advancements in optics, artificial intelligence, and medical know-how to detect the presence of infections caused by multiple variants of COVID-19, using light to scan people's fingertips in less than 20 seconds and at a cost per test of approximately $1. So if you think about some of the other testing solutions, I know my aunt just flew in from the States, testing ranged anywhere from $40 to $200. The fact that they can actually test each person for about $1 is really quite astonishing. And in addition to that, these tests are non-invasive, so you don't need anything shoved up your nose, you don't need to give any bodily fluid. It's very quick, it's very easy, and it gives building owners, operators the potential or opportunity to test a large number of people in a very short amount of time. So you can imagine for applications like airports, stadiums, concerts, stuff like that. This would be a great technology to utilize at the gates. Now, in terms of the Iceberg's leadership team here, you guys, very deep roster. Duncan McIntyre, the president CEO, has co-authored over 25 diagnostic patents. In addition to that, he's got C-suite experience at various multinational companies in Canada, the US, Asia, and Latin America. And Alan McDougall, who's the corporate vice president here, you guys, was actually formerly the director of general global operations at CSIS, which is the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. So obviously very well connected with the Canadian government here and has a lot of those existing relationships in place that the team here at Iceberg can now leverage. So to close things out here, you guys, I wanted to wrap up the video with a nice little summary talking about the new vision at UPI. So UPI's business model is centered around forward-thinking strategies that drive the direction of the company's growth. So as mentioned, this company has been around for a long time and they really have a renewed focus or vision for the future. So phase one is focused on licensing and investing in existing technologies like Air Sniper, for example, securing their rights and adding to the product mix or suite of solutions that the company can offer to their clients. And that really speaks to bullet point number 2 here, which is about the expansion of the number of services that VCI can provide to their clients. Now, phase 2 is really focused around these strategic acquisitions and investments that are looking to leverage new platforms that are going to broaden the scope of what UPI or VCI can offer to really become the one-stop shop for building owners and operators. And they also mention the opportunity to make acquisitions that are going to help them grow their presence in key regional markets. Now, in terms of the financials here, you guys, a couple of things I definitely wanted to point out before we end the video. So you can see revenue for this company over the past 4 years. They're virtually trading at 1 times their annual sales right now compared to their market cap. They've got healthy gross margins, which came in just under 21% in 2020. And the big one for me as an investor in this company, they've got absolutely zero debt, you guys, which really enables them to be agile, make these acquisitions, and ensure their company is in great financial health moving forward. And as mentioned in that initial intro or news release, they already booked $1 million of revenue or contract revenue in the month of September. And then the final slide I wanted to bring up here is really a peer comparison. So you can actually see Universal PropTech up top here, you guys. Now this is as of June 7th, 2021. At that point in time, the share price was trading in the low 30-cent Canadian range. So you can see the market cap was a little bit higher, but even based on that valuation, they were only trading at a price to sales ratio of 2.5 times compared to any of their other peers in this space. So Control Technologies, you can see we've talked about that one on the channel as well, trading just under 4 times price to sales ratio. And if you look at some of the other ones like Tribe Property Technologies at 8.4 times, or even Legend Power Systems, which is trading at a multiple of 45.4 times price to sales, Universal PropTech really does look quite attractive on a valuation basis here, you guys. So for those reasons, I'm super excited about this company. As mentioned, I have opened a position. I am looking to add additional shares and really build this out. I'm super excited about their Spotlight 19 technology and exposure. And in addition to that, their underlying business with VCI Controls looks very exciting to me based on the size of the addressable market, the competitive landscape here in Canada, and some of this technology that they have through these strategic partnerships. So that's it for today's video, you guys. Feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think of Universal PropTech, my review on this company, and if you're currently holding shares or not. If you're still watching at this point in time, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button on your way out. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.